it just doesn't make sense. The way they use wokeness negatively, it's not what they think that it is. It's the opposite.
I know, Mike.
I mean, I didn't know that there was such a. It's like they updated the definition or something, that it got better, or maybe I never knew. I don't know.
Well, the only legal definition I'm aware of for wokeness is the belief that like social change can be brought through political action or something like that. Oh no, that there's systemic injustice and that change can be made through social action.
That's kind of
according to
yeah. That's kind of, but the AI overview says woke refers to being actively aware of and attentive to important societal facts and issues, particularly concerning racial and social justice, including discrimination and inequality. So when I hear people say, "Oh, I'll get all that woke shit out of here," it's like, I'm pretty sure this woke shit applies to all of us now because they're fucking taking everything away from us now. You know what I mean? Like, people don't even know what they're fucking saying.
Yep.
No wonder.
But I'm glad you're here now, Mike. Yes, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
No wonder
Ron
we got
DeSantis,
fucking...
This definition comes from Ron DeSantis' lawsuit when he was like, I want them to get woke shit out of like schools or whatever the fuck he was trying to do. And the judge was like, you need to define this. And he was like, and then they gave this definition. So you want to be on record as like, this is what you're saying you don't want in school. But no one knows, no one cares. Anyway.
Welcome to the Nothing Company elevators. Try not to hit all the buttons. There are a lot of floors. I hope there's no kids, cause we'll be on here for a while if they hit all the buttons.
Welcome back to the Economy of Nothing podcast. On this week's episode of Economy of Nothing, we talk about literally nothing because we have no topics. I am joined by my counterpart, the Captain Tracy, the Kanye West of cartooning, the Mike Bedone. Mike Bedone, say hello.
You know, I was thinking about, I don't know that I love being called the Kanye West of cartooning.
There's no way of getting around it now.
Like, here's the thing, and not even, like, kind of not even in a joke way, right? I'm like, but Kanye West isn't very good at it, frankly. Like, I was just thinking, like, the other day, like, no offense to everyone who loves Kanye West or whatever, but, like, you should, like, look into the songs that he sampled, and, like, they're pretty good already. Anyway, how are you doing, Mike?
I'm your host, Mr. Green, the man, the myth, the legend, a.k.a. Mike. So, I'm doing pretty good. And the reason I think that I'm doing pretty good is because I stopped looking at my phone. Because if the phone is any indication of what's going on, they all want us to really freak out about the weather right now. And I don't know where you're at in the U.S., but I guarantee you're freaked out about weather. And I'm sorry for that. Because at the end of the day, it's just weather. It'll pass. It's not the day after tomorrow. It doesn't matter. And if it was, you'd have no control over it anyways. So you might as well just enjoy the life you have right now. And maybe that means watching a TV show that's probably dog shit anyways. Or listening to this podcast, which is probably also dog shit anyways.
You stupid, dumb, green bitch. You don't understand how the time stream works at all. Obviously, people watching this episode will already have known whether or not they had bad weather. Plus, anyone listening to any other time couldn't possibly know what the weather is, right?
What's weather? I don't even know.
This is what I'm saying. Imagine a lower, I've always said, Greenie, I say this all the time when we're in the dispatch elevators and whatnot. I'm always saying, man, I hate it when people come up to me and talk to me about the weather. Like, is there a lower common denominator than like, hey, what's the weather like outside right now? And you found it. What was the weather like 2 weeks ago?
In space.
Or, sorry, what was the weather like 5,908 years ago? We're in the
Cold.
distant future.
Yes. Cold in the distant future. I literally have no topics. I wish I did. I don't. So why don't you bring up a topic, Mike?
Okay. This is an evergreen topic. So like, I don't know. Like, Mike, I've unfortunately been on Instagram this past week
He
or
does
so.
have one, folks.
Posting some Instagrams. I don't know. Here's the problem. I wouldn't mind it, except for it means I have to see an Instagram post.
Yeah,
That's like the worst. Like I have to, like I have yet to figure out how to like open Instagram and go like right to the just plus and like put my short up. It always like opens to Instagram, which is always some bullshit. Which
it's just the TMZ tabloids now, isn't it? Of just whatever your TMZ tabloid is. So like mine was movies, and if just like, dude, all they do is just show. They think I like Matt Damon so much, and I'm like, I just don't like Matt Damon. There was a point in time that I liked Matt Damon, and then I grew up, and then I realized, you're not that great.
Matt Damon. That's you all the time.
I'm just saying, like whenever
Damon.
he did that samurai movie, like it was really downhill from there. I just think.
I
don't know.
It's not offensive. That was me. That was my Matt Damon impression. No, you're thinking of The Wall. You're thinking of The Wall.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was the start of people just taking whatever money, bro. The Wall.
Yeah, that really was the
Damon.
start of just being like, there's no other. You have to do these movies
and
because there's no other way to do
just
movies.
such horseshit. And I'm supposed to give a shit that he's in the Odyssey. Fuck you. Fuck
Dude,
all
they
of
are
you.
trying to cram it down my throat that I should care, and I don't care about the Odyssey. I already know the Odyssey, and I think they've done like 15. They've done 15 iterations of the Odyssey at this point. Like I don't care. I don't care that it was strenuous on his body, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, it would be strenuous on an old man's body to lose 20 pounds. Like, yeah, no shit. Water's wet. Get the fuck over it. Maybe you should just stop fucking acting because you got so much money and go enjoy it. Stop making me care about your movies. I mean, it's not enough that you're in every Christopher Nolan movie, but you have to like now make me care, or at least try to make me care that you're doing another movie. I don't care, dude.
Care. Oh, come on, he's making you. But it is one of those things where, like, out of like one side of its mouth, it's like we're making the greatest cinema of all time, and I'm also doing an R.I.P.D. sequel with Ben Affleck or something. Whatever they're doing, I don't know. It doesn't look good. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
And oh wait, speaking of Ben Affleck,
when you sell out, that means you don't have any more. Like these people have sold out too many times. You only get to sell out once. What the fuck?
I know. And then they find new ways to make it seem like they didn't sell out. Like again, Ben Affleck comes out and he's trying to explain why AI just makes bad movies, and it's like, well, he said it factors to it reverts to the average of the mean, and it's like, first off, you shouldn't be using ChatGPT to write your movies anyways. Like, I think if the Duffer Brothers taught us anything, you shouldn't do that. So, it kind of ventures to bet that I think that maybe Matt Damon's probably the better of the two in the duo of writing a movie together. I don't know.
So, I mean, that was always the joke, or anyway, that's the joke. That's the Family Guy joke, right? Hey, put both our names on it. But then, I guess he was, he did like Argo, the town in Argo and stuff. And he was like, I'm going to be serious. And then it's like, and then he dated J-Lo again and did Dunkin' Donuts commercials. And he's like, no, now I'm serious again. It's like Ben Affleck, like,
you're not serious.
No, he's not. Like, here's the thing. He's not that good of an actor. For me to have to deal with hearing the rest of it, no, he's fucking not. What's Steve Buscemi's life like? I don't fucking know. Put him in more movies, right? Like, anyone. You know what I mean? It's why are all of the Avengers still older than me? Like, it's very.
I will say the one thing about Ben Affleck is that, like, The Town's a good movie because he just wrote it about people he knows like that movie feels authentic and real because isn't he from Boston? Like that's why it feels like a good written movie because a Boston person wrote a movie about Boston. Like
I mean,
if you can't write a good if you
So-
can't write a you haven't, well it's like one of his, I think it's his only really good one, but if you can't write a good movie about the place that you grew up, I mean that I think we should stop giving awards to people that write good movies about the places they grew up because it's too easy. Give me a guy who visited like Switzerland and write a crime thriller about Switzerland, and you're like, oh yeah, like this is totally what it would be like in Switzerland.
I mean,
you know, like,
honestly, Mike, I am 100%. I'm 100% on board for this because I think the problem is that there's not enough criteria for any of these awards. Like, I won the Oscar. It's like, who gives a shit, right? But what if you're like, no, hey, dude, in order to win the Oscar, you have to direct the film in a language that isn't your native language. I'm like, oh, that's fucking impressive. Okay,
that
good
would be
job, man.
impressive.
You won an
That
Oscar,
actually-
all right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know how hard it would be to invoke the same type of emotion in a different language?
Like
that
Guillermo
doesn't have the
del
same
Toro's
words?
Oscars are more impressive because he doesn't speak English. Like, you know what
Yes,
I mean?
man. That's what I'm
I
talking
mean, he
about.
does, I'm sure he speaks English, but you know what I mean? Like
there's this movie coming out. There's this movie out, and there were I think it got nominated or maybe it won an award, and people were pissed off. But I think it was called like Good Boy, and it's a horror film, and I want to watch it. But it's a horror film set in the reality of your dog. So it's this dog in the house where it's
Mississippi,
protecting
I
its.
simply can't.
No, so like think of like more of a hopper than a Mississippi. So like a guard dogish type of dog, like a
Mike,
golden
we
retriever.
can't talk about Stranger Things again.
So no, I'm saying the camera's on the back of the dog, and it's the setting of it is there's a haunting or like a possession going on in the house, and this dog keeps getting like the dog will wake up and then like the lights are flickering. So it's always from the view of this dog, and then the family members get up and stuff. And then when the shit's hitting the fan, it's about how this dog has to save his family. And it's when like all the film festival people are like this, and it's like this movie is so good that it makes you rethink like what a good actor is. So apparently the dog did like a really great job. It looks like an Air Bud situation, but in horror. And apparently he got nominated or something. Maybe he won, I couldn't remember, but people were really kind of pissed. But I would just argue that you're pissed that you're not as good as a dog. That's really what you're pissed at.
I mean, I can't take people seriously, Mike. I can't take. Stop caring about awards. It's crazy. It's so silly, Mike. And then like people like really like mess themselves up caring about these things that aren't real. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, I just want this person to win the Oscar so bad. I'm like, fucking why?
And then most people are too focused on measuring life than enjoying it.
It's all parasocial. Is it parasocial? Is that what they call it? Like they're like, oh, I really want this actor to win the award because they're my friend or something. Do you know what I mean? I think it's called a parasocial relationship.
I imagine there's like clubs. There's probably like clubs where like you don't get to go in unless somebody won something, and then it's just very inconvenient for now that actor to not be able to go, and then they lose their friendship, and it'd be like, wouldn't it be great if you could just also win so that we could go to this place that I like? That's how I kind of think it probably is. I feel like the only reason that you want to win anything in life today is because people make it. It's money, and they gatekeep it from you. So it's like your life can become so much more convenient and easy to access things if you win an award. That's the only reason you'd want to win an award. It's the only reason. It's the same reason that Timothy Chalamet wants to date a Kardashian.
It's the reason anyone wants to do anything, right?
Yeah,
is like,
let me win one award and then they get to be themselves. It's the reason that what's the Dustin?
Why don't people realize that all bullshit is man-made? There's no natural bullshit. Right? Like, we're all just making each other's lives fucking harder, aren't we? Like, we've passed the Rubicon of, like, at some point, we were all working together to build Jamestown, or whatever the fuck people were doing. Do you know what I mean? But,
yeah, I think what happened was that...
But now we're in space. No.
What happened was that any civilization in ancient civilization in time that literally just like wanted to live in peace, somebody came along and didn't let that happen. So
I know.
I think over time that we've just accepted that. What? There's two different types of people: conscious people and non-conscious people. And conscious people realize what we're talking about, and non-conscious people have no empathy, and then they just kill. I mean, that's probably what it is, right?
Well, you know, I think I don't know what it is exactly, right? But like the history of mankind is the history of like people like fucking with each other, right? Like, for as much as like a lot of people are like wars are fought over resources and stuff, again, like not really. Like yes and no, right? Some big wars over time, but like most of the time it's like, yeah, an empire, like the Roman Empire was like fighting all these wars because for more resources, but like because they were like fucking wasting them, like they were like shipping fruit like thousands of miles away, like, you know what I mean? So, like they were wasting all the food. That's why they needed more food.
So I think in general too, right? Like, I mean, I think media has something to do with it, right? Because they'll paint elaborate stories to why you shouldn't try to overthrow stuff, because they make it seem like, well, we're smarter than you, or, you know, like Game of Thrones is great at being like, this is why you need a king type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think that so much of that has been told through history and then played out through cinema and different forms of cinema and entertainment that you think that there's no way. But there actually is a way, and and the answer is in the movie Ants. And it is literally the easiest answer ever. It is whenever the ant guy at the end of the movie is going up against the grasshopper and he has that speech in front of all the other ants. And he goes, "You need us more than we need you. There's 1 million of us and there's only a few of you." And I mean, even the freaking grasshopper says it at the beginning. We have to make it seem like they need us because they don't. I know. Right. Yeah.
I was thinking about A Bug's Life just the other day, in like the same kind of like idea, right? Of this sad idea of like the bugs, like all they want to do is like work themselves to the bone and die. And it's like something beautiful in that.
I guess, yeah. Well, like, I think it's right. It's like
all they want to do is work themselves to the bones and die for their own fucking food, right? Like like the problem with like the world right now is not like, oh man, shouldn't I have more equity there? So it's like, I have made more than enough food, right? I haven't gotten the number of sandwiches back that I've given out.
I think what it is that two things. Number one is that you used to like work for more experience-driven stuff because money would give you more of a chance to, you know, go to a place you've never been or to experience a new experience you never experienced. Right? Okay. So, but, you know, what happens when you inflate that money away? Your purchasing power decreases, which means you can do less of those things. On top of that, now you have everyone's working harder to try to make up that money that they lost through their purchasing power, but they're working harder on things that aren't passion. So I think this nihilistic feeling that everyone is starting to feel is they're starting to feel like, well, what's the point? Because now I once you make it to that, like, well, I've made it to this stage, someone else is just going to take money from me because that's what it feels like, or they're just raise the prices on me. Like, I'll give you a good example. Went out for salt rocks today. Couldn't get any at 2 stores, and I gave up because I was just like, People just came in here and just stockpiled it because they could, and then they could sell it for more. It wasn't because they needed it, you know? So, like, what's the point? You know, like, fuck it. I don't need it, I guess. We're spending all this time on trying to make money off stupid shit, off Pokemon cards, or Salt Rock. Nobody's spending the time to create anything new that's worth experiencing. That's because all of our time is being spent around focused on, like you said, increasing your equity, increasing your net. But for what? So they can make food prices more expensive? Because there ain't any good movies. There's no good TV shows anymore. I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, there's not. There's no good I don't know if you noticed, but gaming has only gotten worse since big conglomerates bought up developer studios. No one wants to game anymore.
I mean, yeah, 100%, right? And the thing I saw was like, someone was like, the two things that came up while I was trying to get away. One of them was like, hey man, you should buy these Pokemon stuff now. Keep them sealed up. You'll be able to set like the Pokemon Legos. You'll be able to sell them You'll be able to sell them $15,000 in 10 years. And I'm like, maybe that's true. Maybe that's not. But like, this isn't a thing anyone should. This shouldn't exist, right? And then the next thing was like, this guy, like the fucking heroes of Instagram. This guy made his number a pay to dial so that robocallers started making him, so he got passive income. It's like, he's the hero, passive income, this motherfucker, right? Like, dude, I have a
great
Quarters
idea.
Episode of fucking King of the Hill.
I have a great idea, but what I'm going to pitch it as, like, everybody on Instagram, like you said, they do the Pokemon card thing. It's like, well, you could buy this starter pack for of the original 151, 100K later. Well, what would actually be more beneficial to your revenue stream that you're trying to create is if you open those packs up and played the game and showed people how the game is played on Instagram in a way that's like thrilling and entertaining that nobody's seen before. Because I still, to this day, don't know how Pokemon is actually played. And yet I've collected them too. And like, but I just think you can make so much money just doing that, because like, it's like when they're like, take your toys out of the box, play with it, man. Like, create some stuff nobody's done anymore, rather than just doing what everybody told you. You'd actually probably make more money from the views.
What do you know about the comic book bubble of the like 1990s?
Other than Superman, number one was a shit comic. Yeah, that's about it.
No, Superman number one, the first Action Comics, whatever the fuck that is, sold for like $1 million or something. And so at that exact same time, all of those guys had left Marvel and started like Image and stuff. So it was like Spawn and a bunch of this other shit that like mostly has gone away now.
Yeah.
And every single one, these comics were selling so many, millions and millions of copies. Marvel relaunches X-Men number one. It's selling 2 million copies, all this shit. And everyone's like, because I'm going to hold on to this. And in like 70 years, it's going to be worth so much money, right? But like, no, because a collector's item can never actually gain in value because someone else bought it to collect it. Therefore, its rarity's done, right? Like, so like, it's so artificial, right? Like, original Superman, because it's like, how did a fucking piece of shit 10-cent comic survive 70 years, right? Like, that seems impossible or whatever, right?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
and I think it's funny, it's like stuff like that. It's like the stuff that nobody wants is worth a lot, or the stuff that was a default made by mistake. Like, you always hear, well, now they do it on purpose, but there was stuff that would be like, oh, like the Superman actually had a black cape instead of a yellow one, and no one caught it, and there was only 3 made. You're like, oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. But now they do that on purpose.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, just like everything else. Like, there's no fun to any of this anymore because there's no skill or talent to collecting.
And there's no story to it. It's all manufactured.
No, it's like, how'd you do it? It's like, well, man, what I did was I paid more money than the other guy. Fucking cool, bro. Nice story. That's how all these other people did their shit too. And it's like, I was listening. Did I tell you? I might have told you this on the phone, but I was getting my hair cut the other day, and I was just eavesdropping on other conversations, as one does when they get their hair cut. And the woman, it was just two older ladies. They were talking. This lady was like, "Yeah, I just bought these tickets for like my great my grandson or whatever. He's like, I feel so bad. The tickets are so expensive. He's like, I remember I used to, like, we would work for like a week and you'd buy a ticket and it was like you'd buy a ticket that weekend or whatever. And it's like, he had to work for like 6 months. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's fucking weird. And then that made me think, Mike, 20 years ago in like 2006, right? Like I was getting like $20 to like lifeguard and you could get like a $5 foot long. And now here we are like 20 years later and you can only get like a 6-inch sub for $5 and like they're paying lifeguards like $17.50.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
It's the same but different.
Like doesn't anyone understand that like that's half as much food and you're getting paid 20% less? It's a $5 half-inch sub, like 15 years ago, $5 got you a foot-long sub.
I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, they'll never give it away, man. They won't do it.
But what I mean is like, and people are like, well, maybe there's too many immigrants, and I'm like, are you guys fucked in the head?
I don't see how that correlates, but yeah, I mean, I know that it's happening.
It's my point exactly. They're like, we need like what else do you think is going on but absolute abject corporate greed? Like it's just like it's clearly nothing else. Right? Like,
I just feel like somebody's. It's a great question, and again, it comes back to I have to wonder: is it blatant just choosing, like you're choosing ignorance, sticking your head in the sand to ignore it because it doesn't really affect you? Or is it the difference between like the Nuremberg trials, right? Like when they're trying to search for what was good and evil during that, they was like that one of the psychologists like the best thing that I can say is that like real evil comes from somebody who has no empathy. And it kind of seems like you're either a person that understands what empathy is or doesn't have empathy. That's what it seems like. And it seems like the people running the country probably don't have empathy. Because why would they? They've never had to have it. They've had everything given to them. So why would they know what it feels like to have it taken away? They don't know. Until you... Lifestyles of the rich and the famous, V for Vendetta, Viva la Revolution, people. And you know what? You know what, YouTube? You're not going to send it to the top because why would you? You're in bed with it because you got to keep it high.
I know.
So the S&P 500 can replace Social Security. I already know where it's going. I know why they do it.
Banned from YouTube. Like, you're getting this banned from YouTube. I mean, I think YouTube's a great platform, and I think that. I mean, I guess also we should mention this is an audio podcast. Go find it on your podcast service of choice. And also economynothing.com can take you anywhere you need to go. It's also the place you live. You just don't realize it. Well,
my problem is we all let this happen. We're all guilty. I mean, there's other people more guilty than us, but like nobody stopped. You know, when I say that, it's actually not our fault. There's nothing we could have done. We don't have money to lobby. We don't have anything. They let it happen. They made everything become a conglomerate, so no one has to compete. So everything is just... We all have to go to the same systems, and they control what people see for their interest, not ours.
I mean, Mike, it's... We have to take responsibility because we have to, like, start accepting that everything's stuff people are doing. Or aliens. But, like...
Or aliens.
But even natural disaster, right? Even like the fires in California or like Hurricane Katrina are like exacerbated by the negligence of humans, right? Like these are all like we are the creators of our own fucking problems. And then we go, well, what can we do about it? And I'm like, I don't know. We did it. We're the ones doing it. So it seems like when it's like, why can't we do anything about police violence? I'm like, well, we're doing police violence. So like we could not, and that would, right? Like it's one of these things like I'm sorry, like this is the system and like we don't have like the power we want in it, but like if you think the answer to feeling powerless is to abdicate to the rest of your power, then welcome to the fucking Democratic Party. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to fucking tell you.
I personally think Amazon's TV show Fallout is trying to. I think Jeff Bezos' long-term goal. Long-term goal
from now
is
on,
Jeff
Bezos
is to convince everyone that being a good person is what makes society run, because that's the theme of that show. Is just like, it's everybody's chaos. Everybody thinks they know how the end of the world should be run. Everybody thinks they're right. Kind of like the environment we live in today.
Some order. Like
and Lucy, the main protagonist, is just like, no, I was raised in a vault by my dad, who's also the bad guy, to be like, you have to serve justice. You have to do the right thing. And what's crazy is that all resonates with millennials. And that's why I think we like the show, is because we were all raised to be good people by people who didn't believe it. Honestly. And you don't believe me? Look at them right now.
I mean, it is the dumbest generation. There's no denying that, right? I mean, it is the year 56,009, so maybe they're. Who knows? But
who knows? Maybe, you know.
Yeah, man. I've been watching a lot of Pokemon this week, and it has me like thinking about like the early 2000s a lot, obviously, because that's when I watched Pokemon.
I mean, there were so many TV shows about just heroes doing the right thing.
It had me like I looked up Generations. Right? Because everyone's always talking, I'm like, I don't know them. So I went to go look it up. And I'm like, this isn't right, is my thought when I looked at it. I'm like, no, that's not the generation I'm in. My generation is the people born like between the end of the Cold War and 9/11. Those are my people. The people between like 88 and like 2001. Like that is that's my generation of people who I'm like, you guys came up with like the internet, you know what was happening. You lived in this time where everyone was like afraid of like the Russians, and then like they just were like waiting for something, and then it was the Muslims, right? Like you like
I feel two ways about it. You always hear about the silent generation or the lost generation, which I believe is like, I can't remember. It's really a long time ago. That's all I know. But you never hear about those people, and I don't know why.
It's the people that went to Korea, right? It's the guys between World War II and Vietnam.
Yeah,
everyone just some stuff happened.
Yeah, no one remembers the Korean War really, and probably for good measure in the sense that like they don't want you to remember it. So I think millennials in general, it seems like they think they have us pinned, but they don't. Because we're really actually like true millennials are a mix between a Gen X and what they think a millennial is. And that's why I think none of the data actually takes into account what we think, because we were trained to be like, be afraid of what you put on the internet. Don't trust everything on the internet. And then your parents end up growing up and then believe everything they see on the internet. So there's two types of thought here, right?
Dumb.
I know. So here's the tech philosophy. There's like in the world of data, which is, we can't escape it now, but this is the world of data talking. You are either don't want to be a part of it because you don't see the benefit to humanity because you could be living life, which is more important, or you could be in the sense that if you're not contributing to the data, then you're not involved in the record keeping of whatever this life is in the sense of the human species. So by not participating, we're also not being marketed to by things we like. And I think it's also too late to get involved because they got our boomers in, man. They got our parents in before they got us in, the real millennials in. When I sell a product at a grocery store, the key consumer they want for all the new growth, and since I've been in this industry, is millennials, and they can't get it. They can't get it because we know it's all BS. Most of it's
'cause they're
marketing BS.
They're like, don't you like ET? And I'm like, no, I wasn't around for that.
I know they treat it like we're Gen X, man. They think we're Gen X. We're not Gen X. But there wasn't enough data flow during that time. Because remember when Facebook first came out, when we were around, it's like you had to have like a .edu. Like not everything was nobody had smartphones. It didn't all
they
connect.
don't have the data on us because we lied. We were on the internet as a lie for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Because we were just putting, I don't know, what scroll, latest date possible. I'm legally allowed to be on this website, right? Do you know what I mean? Whereas kids now, like, fuck it, like it's one of those things where like Australia banning social media for their teenagers is like an idea, right? But like
it's a good idea.
you do run into the problem of it like then becoming like fantasized or whatever. Like it's like, oh, once I'm 16, I'm being on social media all the time, right? I don't know. Who knows? But it's probably good to just get them the fuck off. Mike, I was watching some of our old shorts to see what I might put on Instagram or whatever. And the one where we're just like, there's nothing to do on your phone. There's nothing to do.
There's nothing.
It's like we're like
I have yet to find anything to do on my phone. Honestly,
play Into the Breach. If you have Netflix, play Into the Breach on your phone, and then you'll know what I'm talking about with the game.
All your phone is a way to suck money out of you, a way to watch porn, and a way to shop. And they'll say, oh, there's productivity apps. No, there's not. That's just the way to fucking take money from you, because the end goal is like, one, you're not getting paid enough. Two, you need to spend that money, right? You got to consume. Yeah. And three, if you're feeling down, just jerk off.
I'm serious. I'm serious. Anyone listening that's like, do not go find The Economy of Nothing on Instagram. Like it's a terrible place. And I was like, I have to get out of here. Right. And
what's crazy is that they somehow turned it. Like it used to be, social media, I think, used to be mostly just like photo albums for people to dump their photos onto and never look at again. And somehow they turned that into, with all the acquisitions and making Instagram and like all the things they've done, they made it a competition. And like it's so blatantly a competition. And when you really like, but it's that aspect of like, if I'm not here trying to add to the data, then am I really living? Because like so much of, if you really think about it, think about how many hours people are on their phone a day. Like just as much of their real life, if not more, is on their phone as opposed to like actually living.
The people got to know that like no one cares about them, right? Like the fact of the matter is that like there is plenty of written record of people throughout time, and you haven't fucking read any of it, and no one's gonna read any of the shit you wrote. Why the fuck would they? Like, people look at like a book, like the most popular book from 100 years ago, and go, "Boo, old." You think people are gonna be finding your fucking Instagram posts
or your vlog on
like,
cooking?
Come on, man.
Nobody
like
gives
the only
shit.
thing you're feeding is the AI machine, right?
Right. And then, so once people started to feel that, right, they turned it into a job. Like, I mean, I think if anything, they would want us all participating as a side hustle so that they could have more data to train their AI on, to sell us more stuff that we don't need. And I'll be honest with you, go watch Fight Club, because Fight Club is exactly what's happening right now. I mean,
go watch the Mr. Green Silver Screen about it. Yes. I can't say Mr. Green Silver Screen critique.
Silver Screen critique.
I can't do it. But
yeah, I mean, man. It has us buying things that we don't need and making us care about things we don't care about.
Mike, it's pretty wild. Like that. Like it's just like this is all abjectly not news or information or entertaining. So I don't know what it is, right? Do you know what I mean? Like it's not one of the three categories of things that you should like be interested in.
I agree. But my favorite short of The Economy of Nothing, as we stroke our own egos, is the one about capitalism and religion, about how we should all just be having gangbangs all the time, but we don't. I think that one's
your
hilarious.
your thing's always your favorite. Yeah. I mean,
dude, that's
like,
a great one. It makes so much sense though when you really think about it. Like, if
Greenie,
because
listen, I
no,
know
listen,
we're on
no,
an alien
everyone
planet
would
of
choose
Mars.
that. If you're really serious about it, like almost everyone would choose it because the feeling of joy you get from it, and then they can't allow that, Mike. They can't allow that.
But like
who's going to work in the
like
factories making the phones if everybody's having gangbangs?
I know, but I feel like you just like want to lock everyone in these binary choices all the time. Like, so what, you need to be worked to the bone by capitalism or do a gangbang.
No, stop. Here's the thing. No, I think
can I make sweet love to a woman and not get crushed by the corporate wheel?
First off, love is more than just sex. Mike. No, love is more than just sex, right? Love is like a lot of things, but like sex is sex, and like you can have sex without being in love. And I think if you
can be in love without having sex.
Big Bang Theory.
That goes out to all you guys out there,
Dude, they've done tests with rats. If you're a fucking rat and you press a button.
If you're fucking a rat, you have some real problem and should get tested. But
God, you're gonna make that a short. You're such a fucking idiot. No, it's if you're a lab rat with your little hippocampus fucking plugged up to a button that gave you an orgasm, you'd press that fucking button until you died. Because why wouldn't you? You're a fucking rat.
I'm not a rat.
So what I'm saying, here's what I'm saying.
I've never ratted.
Here's what I'm saying. What do we know? We know that people either have empathy or they don't have empathy. Which we can relate that to either they're more conscious than others or they're not. I would have to assume the ones that don't have empathy would hit that button all day long until they're fucking dead. But the reason they can't is because of the freaking religious views that they've been indoctrinated into. It's the same ones that make them racist. It's the same ones that make them fucking hurt people and not feel bad about it. Because if they knew what we knew, most of them would be like, why aren't we all just fucking? That's what I think. But
so
I could be wrong.
Your argument is,
because it's like it's lust
But like I think that like your argument is the church's argument that like human beings would just be like gangbanging and fucking cows and stuff if not for like the like civil and cultural leadership of the church throughout.
I never said fucking cows, but yeah. I think it's the fear that no one would participate in society.
That
based on their rules. Yeah, that's just
the mainstream historical telling, and like we like to like put historical tellings on how we speak about things today. Is that like the church like brought the world out of the dark ages, right? Do you know what I mean?
And that was like,
and so like,
yeah.
And like, and you continue that on to like colonialism and stuff. And like, they were bringing civilization to like savages and all this shit. And it's like, so like you continue that to like, no, the church is the bound between like moral humanity, society, and like in the savagery and animalness of man or whatever. Right. The problem is that they're all fucking kids. Right, and like because it's an organization
that is the problem. That's the problem. You take that away, then they do that.
But you should have known that because previously they were like selling indulgences and doing inquisitions. You should have known these were people not to be trusted. But anyway,
I'm just saying.
Maybe
I think the Native Americans were like Native Americans back then had kids with multiple wives because that's just what you did, and you were the fucking chief or you were like a fucking warrior.
Yeah, I mean, this is all. I mean, it's one of those things where like you can have conversations about like culture. I mean, I guess you should probably actually have a conversation about like the AIDS epidemic and stuff, right? And like, well, maybe people shouldn't be free loving too much, right? But I mean,
wow. Well, that's assuming that wasn't like designed. I mean, how did AIDS even come to like? There's a theory about a dude fucking a monkey. That's all I know out there.
All right, Dave Chappelle. But no, But like the point is, there are sexually transmitted diseases, and like people probably shouldn't just fuck anyone, anywhere, anytime. That's probably how you get.
I mean,
one.
I'm still saying
know,
you should have consent to do it. I'm not saying you should just do it. I'm just saying you shouldn't be made feel bad or have the rules of society telling you can't when and also, but like when people that want to should.
200 years ago,
it doesn't
right?
matter. Yeah.
Well, 200 years ago, you were gambling about having a kid every time, right? And there could be things like, no, you can't knock that girl up because this is the time of the year where there's no potatoes or whatever, right? Like, was a concern, right?
Well,
like,
I don't think the men would have to think about all those things.
Well, yeah, no. Like, but again,
yes.
Here's the other thing you have to remember. Olden times smelled like shit, so I wouldn't have wanted to fuck anyone. I would have been like, someone take a goddamn shower.
You wouldn't know any better, though, because you would smell like shit, too.
No, but I'm from now in times. I couldn't
yeah, but
be
if you,
from
I'm saying now of times. I'm saying we've evolved to a point where, like, these are old systems.
Now
we
have enough condoms that, like, in stuff and showers and everything, people could just fuck all you. Yeah. If you're listening to this and you want to go fuck someone, I say do it if they're cool with it, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, get consent, but, like, we don't have to go to work every day. Like, I'm saying that, like, if we all woke up and realized that we don't have to do these things, we could just do what we wanted.
Okay, Mike.
With let's the people we wanted to do it with.
I can bring this all the way back around.
Yeah.